Wednesday gone. This is the first Friday that we got where everybody who's into this whole Catholic thing is still going to be doing the no beef. Because of that, we're making fish. Now the fish is going to be easy, the sauce is going to be kind of clever, and we're going to be using booze, because nothing says I love celebrating the death of Jesus Christ quite like vodka, or whatever the fuck this is, whiskey. What kind of alcoholic am I? Don't even know my booze. Alright, so make the sauce. We got us Maker's Mark whiskey, not Jack Daniels, because Jack Daniels tastes like somebody just pissed into a bag of charcoal. We got about, what is this? 4 tablespoons of freaking low sodium soy sauce, 6 tablespoons of whiskey, put that shit in there. And we got 6 tablespoons of brown sugar. Doesn't matter what color brown, as long as it's somewhat brown. I'm gonna add that shit too. Mix the fuck out of that until the sugar dissolves. We're gonna pour in juice from 2 limes. I'm using fresh limes, but it doesn't fucking matter if you got the fake stuff, use the fake stuff. I used to have the fake stuff. Where the fuck did the fake stuff go? Doesn't matter. And then after that, we're gonna add a shit ton of ginger and a shit ton of garlic. I'm using fresh ginger and canned garlic because YOLO. I'm just gonna stir the shit out of this until all the pieces pretty much settle to where they need to settle. Also going to be putting some black pepper in there, but I didn't prep that, so just here, pretend I'm putting in black pepper. There we go. Now I'll get back with you when it's time to apply this to the salmon. Oh, and for the fish, we are using salmon, and we're going to do a bunch of shit to this too, and that'll be in the next one. Alright, time for the fish. I'm gonna cut this bitch open. Now I'm gonna leave the skin on because when I asked earlier of my significant other, who's currently in her I'm gonna actually do the Lent thing, she wanted skin on or off. She didn't get back to me, which means I'm just gonna take the easiest way out. I'm gonna portion it up to be about a 2-inch wide slab. Motherfucker! There we go. We're gonna throw it into a glass plate or a glass bowl of some type, glass container. And the reason why we're using glass is because metal is going to have a really shitty flavor to the meat. You can use plastic too, I guess, but I'm concerned that the plastic will, you know, take up the color of the marinade. So, glass for me. You gotta figure out a way to make all this shit fit. There we go. Damn. There we are. 4 slabs of fish. All beautifully done. Putting them meat side down. I'm going to pour this marinade all over it. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to lift the pieces up a bit so the marinade can actually get underneath them. I'm going to leave this shit in the fridge for at least an hour, hopefully more. And after that, I'm going to get back to you. It doesn't really take that long to cook the fish, so you can pretty much leave this setting for right up until cooking time. Fish in a fucking bowl. Fucking magical, right? So the fish has been marinating for a whole day because I decided to have other dinner plans yesterday. I'm going to do the sides. For this one, I chopped up some carrots, some red skin potatoes, and the potatoes I chopped into like tiny little pieces like that. About the same size as the carrots, and we're going to use some asparagus, or asparagus. And the potato situation the dog was very happy about because he got to eat like half a pound of goddamn potatoes that fell on the floor. We're going to take a pan, spray it down. Thank you. And just throw the shit on there. Super simple. And once I learned how to actually start oven roasting shit, my life became a lot simpler too. There we go. Because it's like minimum effort and maximum delicious. Especially with the carrots because they got sugar in them. That sugar sweetens everything up real nice. Alright, so we got our pan, got our potatoes and carrots, make sure none of the pieces are stuck together. Peel them away from the side. And throw like fucking that much asparagus in there because you'll... There we go. Spray all that down with, what is this? Olive oil, extra virgin. No holes have been defiled. Pepper. I said pepper! Motherfucker. There we go. I'm using kosher salt because, you know, Lent, all that good stuff. So let's celebrate the season. There we go. And that's pretty much your side dishes. I'm going to throw this in the oven as is, and then we're going to get started on the fish. I don't know how long this is going to take to cook. I'm guessing about 30 minutes. So I'm going to start the fish about 30 minutes after tossing these in the oven.
Yeah, that's what happens when you fuck around. I take your cupcake, and you can't have it back, because I'm cooking. You're over here pitter-patter. Hey! Sit. Go ahead. Take it. Take it. Go ahead too, but yeah. Which one?
Alright, so I got everything cooking in the oven. And I made a cup of rice in case I fuck that up. Because, you know, I'm smart. I'm going to take a pan, turn the heat on underneath it to like definitely around a medium 0.7. And I'm going to adjust the camera to about that high. And we're going to grab the fish. There we go. So like I said, okay, it would help if I turned the right heater on. Fish was supposed to be cooked yesterday, didn't get cooked yesterday because, well, reasons. So we're going to cook it today. Generous helping of oil in the pan. We're going to wait until that pan comes up to heat. And we're going to go from there, but I don't think you need to watch that. Got our various implements of destruction, spatula and tongs. Going to take the fish with the skin on it still, like so. I'm going to scrape all that crap off the top of the fish skins so they got a nice flat surface to lay on. There we go. And then we're going to use our hands and just toss them in the oil. The reason why I'm using my hands is because, one, I'm an animal. But more importantly, so it doesn't fall apart. There we go. Take a look at that beautiful dark color of the fish. And that pan is entirely too cold, so let's take a look at that beautiful dark color of the fish in about 5 more minutes. Alright, let's try this again. Gonna take this fish and just throw it skin side down right on the pan. And it's not sizzling because it's on medium, but the pan is definitely hot enough to boil off the water, so got that going for it. There it goes. Yeah, make that sexy noise. Make me look like I'm competent. Very low. Never mind. There we go. Let's grab that last little piece. So, one of the reasons we're cooking it on fairly low heat is because of that sauce that we put on the fish is just full of sugar, and that shit's going to caramelize real fast. I'm going to spread this stuff around. Kind of like so. We're going to let it cook. Looks like I overloaded the pan, and I just may have, but that's alright because it's going to make sense in a minute. After we cook it like this, I'm going to flip it and get a nice sear on the other side too. They've been cooking for about 2 or 3 minutes, so we're going to flip them. Hopefully. Just like that. And yeah, I'm going to scrape off some of this crap off top too. Just a shit ton of ginger still on there. There we go. And we're not throwing the sauce out. What I'm doing is I'm mixing the sauce up while this is doing its thing. We're going to add that sauce back to the fish when the fish is about ready. But to make it look gusto and shit, we're going to put a couple of nice burn marks on the top of it. Which is the purpose of this entire fucking exercise right now. So, what we got here, so the fish nicely browned on one side. Bring the pan up. There you go. That's what we're going for, that nice different coloration. See how I did on the rest of them. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And you'll notice that the closer the fish is to getting done, the easier it starts falling apart on you. It's kind of a good way to tell when it's ready. Like these are more or less already all cooked all the way through. So our next step is to reintroduce the sauce to the pan. We're going to want to get this sauce up to boiling. If for no other reason than to kill all the God knows what the fuck that's living in there off. I mean, because that's the way it's delicious. There we go. So we're going to let this thing come back up to a boil. Let the fish sit in there for a little bit. And when I poured all that sauce back in, all that ginger and garlic ended up on top of the fish. So that might be a little too potent of a taste. So I'm going to scrape that shit off. Without the fish falling apart, hopefully. And I already took a taste test of the potatoes and they should be done in about 5 minutes. So with any luck, they'll come together at the same time. But yeah, there it is. It's up to boiling already. I'm gonna boil some of it off to thicken it up, and that way I can serve it alongside the fish. And that way I get all the alcohol out of it, hopefully. Just a heads up, when you're boiling it off, you can crank the heat up a bit more. Once you got the liquid in there, it's gonna keep the temperature around 212 degrees. So over there we got Bubble, Toil and Trouble. And over here, we have some beautiful vegetables. Behold, paradise. Now, to serve. First thing we're going to serve is the rice in this beautiful Asian-inspired bowl. And by Asian-inspired, I mean made in China from the finest of leads. Next, we're going to line all the veggies up on a plate in a tasteful manner. Take a slab of fish. And yeah, oh yeah, that shit's falling apart. Alright. Use 2 hands to take that slab of fish, one to stabilize it, and the other one to scoop it onto the plate. And just put that little fucker right on there, skin down, just like that. And voila, Salmon. Gotta make salmon. Bitches love it when you make salmon. Alright, bon appetit. As for the remainder of the sauce, I'm gonna add a little bit of liquid to it. Stir that shit up. Get it to the right consistency. I added a little too much liquid to it, but that's alright. And then we're gonna pour it into this delightful chemistry lab inspired serving dish. That should be good. Gonna do it over the sink though, because I myself know that I'm a fucking idiot. There you go, juice that you can pour on your rice and your potatoes and your fish and whatever the fuck. Either way, bon appetit, enjoy the fish, try not to die of salmonella.